that like a setup for another control, or? I mean, I think we have one mission to do down here, and that's the ID cards. I mean, we can try and have a look, see what's what. For you guys in the chat, probably once I've done this, we can have a decide about what we want to do. I could play some Fall Guys tonight. Happy to do so. 3 crowns today, off stream, you know. We'll get some of this. We'll upgrade that. Let's go to the warehouse. Let's see if I can find some of these ID cards. I hear Angry. Oh, hi, Angry. I don't like it when he's anger. Can you not? Because this is kind of like unfair. You can fly. I can fly as well. But... Ooh. Let's have a look at it. Go, go. There's some health there. Keep going. That stuff there. Go. Whew, that was painful. I still don't understand what this is about. Gives you the option to press X and doesn't say. I say so, yeah. I doubt all the questions will be answered in the AWB DLC. There seems that there's so much more that can happen. Yeah. Like the setup of I'm gonna lead the bureau in my own direction and not the boards and so on and so forth. Who are the board? Exactly. There's quite a few questions that I'm like, would love to know.
Another ID card for a cartographer.
Well, that's 3. I don't seem to be able to summon the elevator either. Got a lot of jukebox tokens. wants me to do that horde mode, doesn't it? Yeah, we've already listened to that. We did that last time. It says it's in the warehouse, so... Is this still the warehouse? The board is comprised of 3 members: cardboard, plyboard, and extremely board. In there already. Anything up here? Yep. There's one.
Another one of those ID cards. Security chief.
So we need one more. Technically, this is still the warehouse, so we'll go up 1 floor. Never saw that. Power cores. After numerous attempts, I finally found a way to intercept and contain the ambient energy of the ley lines in a kind of Aristotelian battery. I've dubbed the power core. I admit it was difficult capturing an energy I could barely measure, much less interact with. Luckily, it seems that the porous stone of the Foundation's caverns possesses such conductive qualities. Using stoneflakes and copper wire, my power cores collect significant power. My early prototypes collected too much, in fact, but I've since reinforced the container. We don't know what the repercussions of tapping into this power field. As a precaution, these devices should not be taken outside the house. Ideally, the Bureau should not need to rely on typical energy sources. It's my greatest feat of engineering yet. I've always had an interest in invention. I like the creativity they were allowed, set the firm boundaries of logic and physics. Father never improved, calling it a mundane science. With that in mind, I dedicate this invention to Theodore Ashe Sr. May he scowl in peace. So Ashe made the power cores. Okay. Nothing around.
Entry day plus 51. Northmore has ordered an all-hands search for objects similar to the service weapon. He claims there are more in the house, though I don't see how he's so certain. He's been strange lately, talking about joining greater causes, and frequently mentioning a pyramid. After pressing him, he finally described this pyramid to me. Inverted, black, mathematically perfect. Oddly enough, Adam and the other id have shown me numerous inverted triangles painted on the cave walls. Surely there's a connection, but I don't see it yet. As far as occult symbols go, triangles are by no means rare. Flood, Levi, Kroll, they used that shape like it was going out of fashion. Standing on their base, triangles signify stability and strength. Inverted on their points, they represent conflict and stagnation. Of course, the orientation is just a matter of perspective. Looking at the pyramid from below gives you one, from above another. Northmore says he looks up at the inverted pyramid. I have to wonder, is anyone standing over it, looking down?
I don't see anything of note. Okay, let's just take it back to the entrance. Oh. Hate that lag, you know? It might take me a few minutes, so we'll do our best. I don't understand. There's so many areas. It's hidden. Is like there?
This ID card was for an excavation engineer. Why did so many people abandon their cards down here?
I'll take that as a lucky find. Because yeah, I'll just take it. Meteor Hill Submarine. Because I thought that was a way down to the second floor, but... Per archival mandate Point A, this document has been edited to meet current administrative standards. Certain terminology may be out of date. The paradimensional occurrence consists of 3 sequential sinkholes induced by subterranean implosions revealing foreign material of magmatic qualities. A local chapter of the Youth Science League were participating in an archaeological dig on a hill when the event occurred. Many boys were injured in the resulting collapse. Some touched the magma directly. Bureau agents arrived at the scene 7 days after the incident. Samples of the lava-like material were taken. The area was quickly sealed off from the public at our recommendation. Our aim was to ensure all remnants of the material were rendered inoffensive, but the magma descended too deeply in the earth to retrieve. Foul-smelling odours were detected in the area, which were hypothesized as being the dissipated elements vapor trail left the scene. Okay. All acquired material was delivered to Washington for examination in the Bureau's on-site laboratories. And has the audio gone for everybody else? No. It hasn't for me. It hasn't for me. Don't worry. It's alright. I noticed the problem. Don't worry. It's all fine. Hang on. What was my goal? Use the ID cards to access the corridor. What bleeding corridor?
From the layer of dust on this place, nobody's swept here in years. Not even Ati.
Ah.
No way he'd stand for this. There's an elevator, which I'm sure is super safe, in a space in each terminal for an ID card. But which card goes where?
Well, I'm going to safely assume that given the fact that these are Chief Excavation Engineer, actually, would he be a cartographer? He might be. What have we got here? I guess he's the excavation guy. Typewriter and everything. I guess head of research? So they're all desks, right? They've got to be individual, like little things. Well, there's a gun, so there's your head of security. And that leaves him.
It worked. Now I just have to get on a rickety elevator that goes who knows how far down.
That was too simple. Too simple.
Dust. Still, this lab's way tinier than any of Darling's.
I always wonder what happened. What did eventually happen to Darling? Why are you doing that? I didn't know it was a thing. Find Ash's notes.
Why would they need such a heavy door down here?
Is Ash still alive? Oh no. The fucking hell are you? Why are you shooting laser beams? That's unfair. Can I have the laser beams? It seems a bit unfair that you have laser beams. And also, the whole, like, invisibility thing, kind of a bummer. I need to go to you to get help. Always the way, isn't it? God. Pissing, damn it. Heal, 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 heal. Is he behind me? He is behind me. Why am I doing that? Process design at Gibbs. The process is to die, so... Yeah.
This looks like the nail, only mini.
It's a mini now.
A document. Is this in some kind of code? Can't read a word of it. I should take this back to Emily and tell her I got into...
Oh. Northmore final warning to Dr. Theodore Ash Jr. as Director of the Federal Bureau of Control and the chosen representative / liaison / benefactor of the greater authority of the board. I demand your immediate withdrawal from the Foundation. Prior memos issued broadly to Foundation staff call for a swift reassignment of all personnel to the upper floors of the house. All staff complied, except you. This demonstrates a lack of respect for my office and the board itself. This is their house and we are their guests. We should conduct ourselves accordingly. Normally, such insubordination would be grounds for dismissal, but out of respect for your late father, consider this instead my final warning. The board and Director Ash chose me as his successor to the office, and no amount of petulance will change that. Indeed, your actions seem to suggest you know better than myself, and by extension better than the board. Permit me to assure you this is not possible. Sincerely, Director Broderick
Ash's
Northall.
secret lab.
Okay, so I have to get something to do with this. That was kind of it was me thinking all along that I wouldn't get any of those vomiting angels that go stealthy. Yeah, so the reason that the sound had disappeared from me is because when you have a microphone or a headset, my headset's dangling and it keeps rubbing across like my upper chest and it goes silent. So I lost all the audio. So I was like, oh, the sound's gone. It hadn't.
If it isn't my favorite director. I found Ash's secret lab. Excellent. Please tell me everything. Spare no details.
Well, there was another cave. The walls were covered in paintings of eyeballs. The research seemed dedicated to studying a kinda smaller version of the nail. It looked like the same material as the one up here, but just a different shape.
Well, are you sure you didn't see any functioning prototypes? Or at least some schematics? I mean, Dr. Ash was a very accomplished engineer.
None. Sorry. I did find this handwritten note.
Wow. Ash had terrible handwriting. Never meet your heroes, right? That looks like a transcribed conversation between Ash and someone named F.
Former.
Ooh. Oh, this is juicy. This'll take me days to parse out. Maybe weeks.
Have you ever thought about taking a vacation, Emily?
Are you kidding? This is my vacation, Jesse.
Okay. Well, you've got a red triangle above your head.
Now that this nail business is handled, I should probably be getting back to executive. But maybe I'll keep poking around. Just for a little bit.
I'm gonna keep looking around.
I wish I could go with you, but I still need 30 hours of training before I can do field work.
We'll work on that.
And that, officially, is all the DLC. As far as I'm aware. There is literally nothing more of the Foundation. And it was the former that he'd seen. Look at that. If he drew all those photos, all of those markings, it's the former. Let's get some abilities done. I'll just do those. And we will fast travel all the way back to Central Executive.